So, a box that makes you money. So that's how I view property, okay? And I think as you get more experience, you'll realize how true this is. The emotions fade away, all the bullcrap fades away in terms of a tenant does this or this happens in regulations, or, and all these sort of things that as a beginner investor, you think that, the sky's fallen in. And so how do we get to become this person that views a box that makes you money? Property is a box that makes you money. And I think, the reality is it's a process. So you have to go through. I talk about my 1-2 stop strategy, my 5 and hold strategy. And generally I find at about that 5 and hold strategy is where you start to get mastery of your emotions, okay? Now, certainly after a couple of properties and a bit of time, you're probably pretty comfortable, but you're probably still at the point where you go, 5 properties, that's another kettle of fish. And it's another kettle of fish in terms of if you don't have the systems and processes and all that sort of stuff, then you're going to start to struggle. And what it's going to do is take more time from you. And what we don't want is we don't want property to be a time thief, okay? Because really that's what a lot of people are stuck in, is where they are landlords, not investors. I play the investor game, okay? And you should play the investor game too. Whether you like your tenants, whether you want to look after your property and all that sort of stuff, none of what I'm saying here precludes the fact that I look after my properties, I look after my tenants. I'm a good landlord, I do everything I should, I follow all the regulations. So we're not saying you don't do that. Yeah, I just have somebody else do the work for me, and I'm happy to pay that somebody else. And in my case, it just so happens that in most, in the UK certainly, I have all my properties managed by my own company. So I own the company, which technically actually Arlene owns the company. So but neither here nor there. But the bottom line is with that is that, we can actually, when you get to this point and when you build in the systems and processes, you realize that property is just a box that makes you money. And what happens is every now and again you'll review the property and you'll look, what's my incomings, what's my outgoings, what's my maintenance, that I've spent money on, is the area still got fundamentals? Has the area still got fundamentals? Do I need to sell it? Do I need to renovate it? Do I need to add a room? Do I need to whatever, turn it into a HMO? There's so many options that you've got depending on the strategy you choose. But I think property is a box that makes you money. That is, above all else, that's where you want to get to. Because for me, that's set and forget. That's set and forget mastery, and that's what I talk about. Whether you've got 10 properties or 2 properties, at the end of the day, you have a life, and you only have one life, and you only have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, however many years you live. But the reality is the best way to use them is not by fixing taps and dealing with tenants and toilets and all this sort of stuff. It's by putting it into whatever makes you passionate, whatever expresses your unique passion in life. So, I think that's one of the keys, and basically if you think about it, my last 25 years has been spent in property. That's what I've done day in, day out. I've sold over £1 billion of property, through my various businesses. I've financed them, I've built them, I've done all these sort of aspects of property. So you might say, well, surely, you are into property. And I'm like, no, I'm into creating a lifestyle for me and my family, and property is the vehicle that does that for me. And business is the vehicle that does that for me. Actually, I could care less whether it's a 2-bedroom in Manchester or a 2-bedroom in Birmingham. It's about what it gives me. And that's where you will get set and forget, property, a box that makes your money mastery. All right, guys, any comments, feel free to write in below, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to chatting real soon. See you later, bye.